Well, hello there, Blade Gang. Welcome back. This old sword with you. And ready for another review today. After a bit of a dry spell, I have been waiting for the Postal Service to deliver some packages that seem to have gone all over the earth. But as usual, they always arrive home. So, this one comes in from Amazon. And that was a relatively quick delivery, I must say. This is my second only review of an off-grid knife. And this is marked as the new and improved version of the Rapid Fire. And you'll see that it is in the Coyote handle flavor. Let's back off just a teeny bit and take a look at what's in the box. First of all, we have the all-important sticker and a very nicely put together catalog of all their blades. Good reference. And here we have the off-grid Rapid Fire. Now you'd think with a name like Rapid Fire, I would have gotten the idea that it's an assisted knife. That was mentioned nowhere in Amazon's description, unless of course I missed it. They have improved this knife, and they have, as you can see, added a deep carry clip. The original version, which is still depicted in some of the pictures on Amazon and elsewhere, and even on the off-grid site, show a clip that is attached right about here. So this is great. We have a nice ambidextrous, mounts on both sides, deep carry clip. The original had an anchor point up here as well and over here. So they've also dispensed with the thumb studs, and this is entirely a flipper. And there you have the 3 3/4 inch Cryo D2 steel blade, an FRN handle, a nice cutout on this handle side to access the liner, which I always like. Fair amount of pressure to close it, and one little complaint that I have right off is that with the amount of pressure it takes on that flipper, you may as well have had a non-assisted knife, because with the proper D10 adjustment, it's going to fly right out the same as the assisted version. By comparison, here's my Benchmade Boost. Just a nudge. You still have a long motion to push that thumb stud out on this one, but then the assist takes over. I think as assisted knives go, this takes the cake. All right, so we don't want to begin the review by disparaging the off-grid Rapid Fire. Let's look at some other points. Good ergos, lots of jimping embedded right into the frame and the handle. Good detent for your thumb. A pretty good edge the way it comes through. Ergos are nice, unless you've got much bigger hand than me. 2 fingers will fit in that first cutout in the handle, and the remaining fingers should fit there. Although I'm sure there are some for whom this knife is not going to be comfortable. It is a large knife. They got the weight wrong. They were calling it 5.7 ounces on Amazon. I weighed this out at 6.5 ounces. So it is not a lightweight, and it is not skeletonized inside, but we'll verify that as always before I claim something. Looks like there might be I think that's more like a relief for the liner to bend. Not seeing anything on the show side of the knife. And from the weight of it, you wouldn't think so. You know what? They did mention that they switched from FRN. Original one was FRN. This is supposed to be G10. And I think it is, because I see some texturing there. So we're going to call it G10 because they say they have improved it up to G10. I chose this color because I like the gray and the desert tan combo. The other combos are a olive green handle and a blacked out blade, and a black handle and a blacked out blade. So this one just, I'm not a big fan anymore of recurve knives with big bellies and sort of somewhat stubby points, although that's a good working point. I can't criticize it too much. And I guess I had my fill of them back in the 80s because my blade buying goes back to the 80s and a little earlier. So these were becoming very popular with just about every manufacturer and maker and designer back then was to do either a recurve tanto or a recurve drop point. This is a recurve drop point. They use a coating on the blade. I'm not 100% sure what it is, whether it's titanium nitride or not. I believe it might be. But good traction on the handle. The other two colors use a different pattern here with heavier scallops. And if you go out to Amazon and you go to the Off-Grid knife store, you'll see all the other knives that Off-Grid makes. This, the lower end knives, this comes in around 75, 80, are supposedly made by Best Tech, and the higher end ones, 200 and over, are supposedly made by We. And you can check that out. I did a review on the Sea Dog V2. I have since donated that knife to Bob DeMarco out at Knife Junkie. And that was part of a Patreon giveaway, I believe. So more power to him. I did like that knife. It was a bit heavy. And this is a bit heavy, maybe a bit over heavy. It's a heavy duty knife though. I mean, I don't think you're going to have any problems using this in the field for many different purposes. It hides well now with the deep carry clip. Since I can't 100% trust the measurements from the Amazon site or the Off-Grid site, we're going to do our own. So overall length is 8 1/4 inches, we're going to call it. Blade length is 3 3/4, as they said it was. Cutting edge is about 3 5/8. If I go straight from the tip to the heel of the edge. I did mention that it was 6 1/2 ounces, a hefty 6 1/2 ounces. And what am I in inches? So let's do the handle, 0.69. So, almost 0.7. Good thick handle. And the blade, a somewhat thinner 3 millimeters. So as much as it's a hefty knife, the steel is somewhat on the thinner side. But you don't really have a delicate point, so it's a good usable point. It's not a high grind, and I believe it's hollow. Feeling like it's hollow. I didn't look that up, but I can feel the dished out hollow grind in there. So I'm not sure how good a slicer it can be, although you've got the advantage of the recurve there. If you start your cut here and draw, you're going to run into the belly, which gives you more pressure, which increases the cutting capacity. They went to T8, I understand, on the pivots. That was mentioned on the Off-Grid website. Full open back construction with 3 pillars. 3 standoffs. And no lanyard provision that I can see, unless you use that last standoff there. So let's look at it next to another knife or two. I had my boost out earlier, so there you have the boost being a little longer overall. A little longer blade, about the same size handle in length. Another big knife, the Rat 1. And Rat 1 is longer overall and in blade. And slightly smaller knife, Griptilian. And yes, I'd say the Griptilian handle's about the same length. Blade's a bit shorter. So the Rapid Fire is going to be a taller knife. We've got more going on top to bottom here. Got some good jimping here on the tail end as well. Not too heavily marked. There's your off-grid logo. And in here we have Cryo D2. And we got a little bit of the off-grid branding on the clip. So overall, not too heavily billboarded at all. I'd say fine, just enough. You do get a good purchase on it here in a cross palm saber style grip. You don't have jimping on the blade, which for this kind of knife maybe they should. I don't know. But my thumb fits in the pocket there nicely. And it comes in a nice presentation box, as you saw. Again, another nice heavyweight knife from Off-Grid in the medium-large category. If you like this review, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Got a couple more arriving today, so we should have all new stuff coming in this week with some new and interesting and not too often seen newer knives. Be well. This Old Sword, signing out.